Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar.
Hello and welcome to Money on the Floor. I'm here to help you pick it up. We're talking about arbitrage. Yep, everything's still the same, nothing's changed. Just I want to talk about more about Trade Pro, different things we can do with it. You know, we just want to make money. We want this platform to make it. We want you to be ready when it comes out. You know what I'm talking about. Here's my account. Everything still looks good. Let's go to Trade Pro. She's slow, but she's coming. I don't know why my internet's so slow lately. So we got Trade Pro. So the whole thing in here, a lot of this stuff is triangles, and that's what I want you guys to understand. Like right here, you got a triangle, and it broke and it took off to the downside. Doesn't mean they're always going to work. Not everything works, so you need to be ready with a stop just in case. But we want to trade with the odds in our favor. That's how we make money. That's how we make our decisions. So there's a lot to go by. There's a lot of stuff to learn, but the basics. We need to know the basics. And the basics are triangles, rectangles, which are called poles. There's all kinds of different stuff. Most everything is a continuation pattern, but there's a few rising and falling wedges that are reversal. So you have to be careful, and you have to be able to recognize those. So we're here to make money, so we got to figure those things out. Let me see if we can make this a little bit. Might go down to a minute chart. And a lot of trend lines help a lot too. That's why I'm hoping they put trend lines on here. That's the other thing. Because this here's a rising wedge. And see, we're coming up into it, which means it's a reversal. So when we come back out, usually when a rising wedge drops out to the bottom. So we come in, come up rising, and then comes back down. And this is the trade that you're looking for. But you can put your stop and move it, and then let it run as long as you can and get what you can out of it. So it doesn't mean you have to take profit at this point. This is recommended. Now here's another rising wedge that's a continuation. We're coming into it this way. We've got a rising wedge, and then we're going to drop. But this is more of a triangle, so you just got to know they can go both ways, so you got to be careful how you're looking at it. To me, this is a triangle, which is a continuation pattern. Usually a rising wedge is a little bit skinnier, so it's hard to tell sometimes. And it's kind of up to the person looking. Everybody's got their own way of looking at everything. That's the whole problem. But when you see this, you know that you're going to probably drop to the bottom, whether you're coming in or it's reversal, whether it's continuation. Now this right here is another wedge pattern. So it's coming in down. It's probably going to go up because it's a falling wedge. See? We're falling down. We're coming into it. That's a reversal. It's going back up. And that's what you want to get, is that amount out of it. Usually from here to here, there to there. There's a lot of stuff to look for. There's a lot of stuff to learn. There's a lot of free stuff, so don't be paying for anything. We have another wedge here. This was a continuation. Came in, bounced around, waited for some buyers, and then it took off. And this is what they were looking for. Like I say, you have your stop down here, probably right underneath this low. Once it breaks out, you move it up to here, let it run. As it gets up to here, move it up, get up further, lock in some profit. Just in case it comes back on, you get out, or take profit there. But you want to make sure you at least get 1-to-1. But I like to get 2-to-1. So if we're putting our stop down here, I would want to get more up to here. So I'd want to move my stop, because 2-to-1 gives you more chances of coming back with mistakes. It's easier to catch up if you get behind. If you had 2 losses, 3 losses in a row, if you're trading 2 or 3-to-1, it's easier to come back. You're able to have more losses and won't hurt you so bad. Here's one that's called a rectangle or a pull trade. It's always usually a continuation. We got to make sure we don't have support up here. If you have a strong support from a day chart, don't be trading this up. It's probably not going to make it. But if you see you got the support way up here, it probably will make it. And then you got to worry about the average true range for the daily. How much does your thing go per day? We don't know. That's another thing we have to figure out. So this is a very good trade here. This is probably the most popular. It's a continuation. Comes in, it just makes a rectangle. If you can find high or low. Usually it goes back out the top as long as we don't have resistance here. If you got a strong resistance here, it could give you a head fake and then go back the other way. So you have to be very, very careful with those. As far as that, you need to know your resistance, support and resistance. We probably should go over that one time. So, but we'll get to it. Right now, these are just things that I found that really help me out in the market, so they might help you guys out. But you need to learn support and resistance. You need to learn your patterns. You need to learn Fibonacci, because usually the cryptos go a lot with Fibonacci. They're pretty basic. They don't have a lot of the market makers manipulating them, just the people, which is human nature. And human nature is all Fibonacci, fractals. Everything is the same all the way through. It's like cauliflower. You take any piece of that cauliflower, it's all the same, whether it's big or small. They're still segregated into pieces. Then you might even want to learn a little bit about Elliott wave theory. Just learn about the waves so you know what the two big waves are, the 3 and the 5. So, I mean, there's a lot to learn, but you got to keep it basic too. You get too crazy, you won't make any money. But this here is probably about the most popular trade right here for me. I love this trade. When I see one of these setting up, I'm all over it. Put my stop down here. I come over here. If I know I'm in it, I try to get it on this side here. Like in here, I'd put a buy trade. Even if it was over here, I'd put a buy trade. Put my stop right down here, probably right below these lows right here. And then I'd let it bounce around. And then once it took off, I move my stop up. Once it took off, I move my stop up. So now if you would have moved your stop from here, one stop, moved it again, and it went all the way up to there, and you moved it underneath these highs right here, and it came back, took you out. That was a pretty good trade. That would have been a 3-to-1. That's great. That's what you want. That's what we're trying to find. So you need to find those within these parameters. And that you can. If you look around at these charts. And then you got flags and pennants and so many other things to look at. It's very exciting. So the whole thing is like right in here, you almost had a pull trade. Yeah, you did have a pull trade. If you put a top here and a bottom here, it came straight across, it continued on down. That was a pull trade. So there's lots of stuff. It's very exciting. So you need to look for that and go. Here's a rising wedge, it looks like here. Could be. Not a rising wedge or pennant. So you got a bear flag. This would be a bear flag. It looks like it's straight across here, which means it could go back down, but nothing's guaranteed. You're just trying to find different things. You need to learn how to use trend lines. So if you got a trend line coming up here and you had a break, you could have sold it. And then you start off with another trend line. Another trend line across here. It broke, it went up. Trend lines are probably about the easiest way to trade too. So if you got a long area with a lot of touches with trend lines, you could run that across until you get a nice break. You can go to a day chart where you'd make a lot of money. Like if you would have put a trend line across here, boom, as soon as you had that break right there, you would have been selling that. So there's a lot you can do here. And don't get stuck that something for sure is something, because anytime, any place, it's trading. It could change on you. So, but you need to have the odds in your favor, and that's all we're trying to find is our odds. Get the odds in our favor. So there's a lot of stuff where you can get information and on the web, and we definitely want to get wedges. Wedges very important. Learn about Fibonacci, resistance, support and resistance very important. Trend lines very important. So you want to start out with the daily and move down, so you know which ones are the strongest to the weakest, because the daily is always going to be the strongest. 4 hour, 1 hour. So we got a lot to learn. This thing's going to be opening up soon. We need to make some money. So we'll get there. Anyway, it is Friday. I'm going to take off and go have a good day. You guys do the same. And stay arb strong. Hang in there. This will open. When this opens, we are going to make money. So just remember that. All right, you guys. Thank you and have a great day.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money.
Dollar, dollar.